Welcome to the greatest podcast in sports betting entertainment. My name is Tanner Kern, certified G, bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is G Money Grant Mitchell. Today we're talking about Shedeur glazing. We're talking about quarterbacks gambling on college football. We're talking about Myles Garrett, who should have been a Georgia Bulldog because he likes to drive fast. And you can't teach that. Bada boom, man. The people in the room, G Money Grant Mitchell. How you doing?
Doing great, Tanner. That was an absolutely electric intro. Really looking forward to this one. I love it when we get the fun topics. I love talking about the preseason bets. By the way, you got to give me some credit here. I said that Tampa Bay Buccaneers money line was an absolute must play. You also give you your credit. You said, why are you not taking underdogs in every preseason game? Dogs went 12-4 against the spread in preseason week 1. So all that stuff is fun, but I'm also excited for the little more fun topics, the easy topics.
Yeah, I had 2 bets. I took your Bucks bet, and then I also took the Steelers plus 4.5. That was free too. Dogs just have dominated so far in the preseason. I've been trying to find teams that are competent, like competent head coaches, all that good stuff, and play them against teams who are favored who don't have competent head coaches. We had a lot of those matchups this week or last week in week 1. Hopefully we'll have some in week 2 as well. But I'm not going to bet on the preseason anymore. This is why. I don't know if you watched this game, but it was the Dolphins game. All right. The Dolphins went for it on 4th and 15 against the Chicago Bears. Like, they could have punted, played defense, went for a tie. They went for it on 4th and 15 from the 40-yard line when the Bears had 3 timeouts. Luckily, the Bears were trash, so they couldn't kick a field goal. But I'm watching this game, and I have the Dolphins on the money line, and I'm kind of shaking in my boots because I'm like, what are you doing going for it on 4th and 15? Take the tie, take the push. Let's live to play another day. So I can't, after seeing how teams were in close games down the stretch in the 4th quarter, I just can't do it anymore. I'll wait.
Well, I mean, if you've got the Jags in a close game and they're kicking from 70, is this going to become a thing? Do you think so if he's kicking from the 70, the ball is it's on your side of the field at the 47, and that's a 70-yarder. Do you think a team would a coach actually call that in a real game? I think it would have to be an end of half, end of game thing. I think that the risk reward ratio is way too high there.
Now that they know he can do it, end of half, end of game for sure. Like, you're laying up for that. But again, it's the preseason. There's no pressure, but they know he has the leg for it. That's the biggest thing now. I kind of hate where the game has gone with kicking. Like, it used to be crazy to make a 50-yard field goal. Now a 60-yard field goal is kind of guaranteed. Not guaranteed, but a 60-yard field goal is normal kick. If you can't make a 60-yard field goal, you can't kick in the NFL. So it's just to a point where if teams get anywhere near the 50-yard line, which a lot of drives get to the 50, it's going to end in points. And I don't really like that.
Also, what touchbacks are now the 30, and with the dynamic kickoff, they're sort of incentivizing you to return the football.
Yeah.
Wait, are touchbacks the 30? Are they the 25? They moved it up.
Through the end zone, I believe it's the 30.
Okay.
And if it bounces, I think it's the 20 potentially or 25. If you bounce it in the landing zone through the back of the end zone, I'm not sure, but I miss the old kickoffs.
Yeah, I'm all for trying to innovate, but it's to the point where I don't even know what the rules are anymore. And I don't like it when it gets to that point.
Well, this is football. This is football. We're not here to limit banging. We want to see hits. I want to see the kickoff. I want to get juiced up. Incentivize them to return the football, maybe move them up a little bit, but I don't need the 10 yards apart standing start run down. Let's have a little contact.
Also, that rule was started by the XFL. Is that right?
Yeah. And also too, I know that the kickoffs are like the biggest injury play in football, but I can't remember a lot of times where I see people get injured on the kickoff. I don't
what's interesting is Austin Eckler got 2 concussions on the new kickoff last year. And same thing, they are the biggest point of injury. I didn't remember seeing them a ton, but then it happened twice to our kick returner last year.
Football is football. But even last year though, that's the new rule. So it goes against where we're at, the new rule.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to keep changing. Like, the NBA got rid of 3 seconds in the lane and stuff like that because offense is exciting. They want more points on the board. They feel like incentivizing the return. And like you were saying, if guys are kicking from 70 now, all you got to do is you don't even have to get to the 50. You can get near the 50 and you might get points on the board.
Yeah, which I hate. I hate it. But anyways, this is Ride the Line, the greatest podcast in sports betting entertainment. As you heard at the beginning of the show, the Shedeur glazing is getting out of hand. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But before we do that, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the video. The views are going up, subscribers are going up, likes are going up. So keep it going, like the video, share the video, comment on the video. And Grant, tell them why they need to check out WSN.com.
If you're into sports betting in any shape or form, hopefully actually not of the John Mateer form, which we will talk about later in this show, but if you like bet on the NFL, NBA is going to be coming back, MLB's here, NHL's coming back, whatever your preference is, Tanner, myself, and a team of experts, we're cooking up a bunch of great stuff over at WSN.com. We're talking about betting picks, we're looking at futures odds, and we have bonus codes for sportsbooks, BetMGM, FanDuel, Caesars, ESPN Bet, Fanatics, whatever you're looking for, get yourself some extra opportunities, profit boost, bonus bets, all that great stuff. It's there waiting at WSN.com.
The World Sports Network. Make sure you go check it out. So the biggest story in the NFL this week, no matter what happens or what will happen, is Shedeur Sanders. Everybody's talking about him because of the debut. He looked very good. Now, granted, I want to say one thing, and this is not a dig against Shedeur Sanders. If the Browns don't get the muff punt and put them on the 10-yard line to open up his first touchdown pass on the play action, which was a beautiful pass. He fit that in the middle of tight window. Beautiful pass. I cashed my 1+ touchdown bet. A lot of people cashed their 2+ touchdown bet later in the game there. If that doesn't happen, I don't think he has the same start. I think that kind of opened up the door for them to not have to drive the field, get a little confidence going, because early on he missed a throw. You know, they couldn't necessarily settle in offensively. They did move the ball a little bit, but they got stopped on 4th and 1. Also, the 4th and 1 play calls in the preseason have been horrendous. I know these OCs are just trying a bunch of stuff, but 4th and 1 in the preseason, you might as well not go for it.
Yeah, he really did not look good to start the game. And I like Shedeur. I think he should be the team starter probably after a month or two. Let Flacco start, hand off the reins to him. I think he's better than Kenny Pickett. I think he's Dylan Gabriel. So I don't want to sound like a Shedeur critic or hater or anything like that. But he didn't start the game well. His first pass was a quick slant. It was way too high, bounced off the receiver's hands. I'm not going to fault him for that first drive because he completed it to the tight end. But I think it was like 3rd and 7, and the receiver ran a 6-yard route, or the tight end ran a 6-yard route. That's his fault. He's got to be more aware of the sticks. But after that, he was missing some throws. There was a rollout to a running back that he missed. There was that 4th down play where he ran backwards like 30 yards and couldn't get loose, and then finally just chucked it out of bounds. And that is my biggest concern with Shedeur. I've talked about this all throughout his college career. He's got slow feet. It's a miracle that Deion Sanders is his dad, because Deion was lightning. He was a human highlight. Shedeur's slow, and he's going to find out pretty quickly that he's not going to be able to escape from even defensive tackles. If they've got a straight line at him, if they can make a beeline at him, they're going to get him on the ground. So he'll have to account for that. He will have to get better, and that's why I think you want to put him on the field after a month or two, let him continue getting reps in practice, and then put him out there and go through the growing pains, allow him to develop. But all that being said, he did finish the game well. So definitely some concerning signs, but nothing out of the ordinary for a rookie. And reasons to believe in him. He did finish that game well. Both of his touchdown passes were good plays.
He looked really good. There is room to improve if you are Shedeur Sanders, which I think that's known. My biggest issue here is the way, Shedeur slips to the 5th round, right? And there's a group of people out there that thinks the NFL owners colluded against him to keep him out of the league till the 5th round. Say what you want about that. I have no opinion there. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I doubt they did, because in the NFL, we're here to win football games. So there was obviously a reason they didn't want to take Shedeur. If there was a team that felt they need a quarterback and Shedeur was the quickest way to get them to the Super Bowl, they're not waiting to the 5th round, because in the end of the day, we're in business of winning in the NFL. But I think it's a little crazy for one preseason game. Now, he played great, but one preseason game for people to go out there and say, see, NFL, he proved you wrong. And that was the narrative online after, whether it was the Nike ad, saying capitalizing on the moment, whether it was just Twitter in general, people being like, he should have never slipped to the 5th round. This guy is the answer. He's the king. If his last name wasn't Sanders, we probably wouldn't even be talking about him. It would just be another backup start. So I think there needs to be a lot more proven before we get to a point where he is the chosen one. Like if he goes out in week 2 of the preseason and Dylan Gabriel outplays him and he throws a pick, like what's the narrative going to be now, right? Like you can't make a declaration of how good somebody is after one preseason start. It's good he had the great start. It's good. but there's a long way to go before the haters are totally proven wrong about Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, 100%. And with Nike, I'm not going to fault them for releasing their ad because that's just good marketing. They knew everybody was going to be talking about him. Well, we've got this deal with Shedeur. We have these ads ready. We're just going to slowly unveil them when the time's right. So I don't blame Nike. I don't look at them as pouring fuel onto the fire or anything like that. Like you said, it is a lot to do with his last name being Sanders, because if we objectively look at his college career, they went 4-8 his first year, and then they go 9-4. They get their teeth kicked in the bowl game. His teammate is a Heisman candidate. He's not. He's drafted in the 5th round. It's again, this is not a shot at Shedeur. I like Shedeur. I think he can be a good player in the NFL, but we are talking about him because his name is Sanders, because he's been in headlines for different reasons, because of the watch stuff, all of that. That's why we're talking about it more so than actual just football merit. Like Jackson Dart looked really good in his preseason game. I haven't heard anybody say a word about him.
Cam Ward looked great. Like Cam Ward looked really good against the Buccaneers. And then shout out Shiloh Sanders. Shiloh looked really good for Tampa Bay as well in the secondary. But there were a lot of quarterbacks that did look good. But you look at the Nike post. I don't fault Nike at all because they're a bajillion dollar business. But that post did 147,000 likes. They've just going down on the list on their likes. And there was no collab on that either. 5,700, 21.3, 100K with like triple Alabama collab, 53.6, 955. Like that Shedeur's big business. They're going to post Shedeur. I understand that. But he has a long way to go before we crown him the chosen one, or even the starting quarterback in Cleveland. Do I think he's going to be the starting quarterback? Yes, I do. But at the same time too, it's just a little too early. Now, the video that I did that me and Grant were talking about before we got on here, if you want to go check it out, it's on the personal socials. No free shout out, but shout out the personals at Tanner Kern. I think my point got messed up because I was labeled a Shedeur hater as soon as I said it. The reason I basically said that the Nike ad causes people to hate Shedeur, and I think people thought like, oh, the Nike ad's not what makes people hate Shedeur, and then a lot of other issues get brought into it. But stuff like that, where we are pushing Shedeur after week 1 of the preseason, gets the negative crowd of Shedeur really angry. It gets the positive crowd of Shedeur like pumped up, like saying they were right. But when you have a situation where you pump out this stuff that's unwarranted, and I granted Nike's capitalizing on big business and in the moment, but as far as just the message behind it, it's too early to push it out. You're going to get more hate behind him.
Yeah, 100%. And when we're talking about Shedeur, how well he played, again, we both agree he did play well. Just for some reference, he went 14 of 23, which is a 61% completion rate, so low. 138 yards, 6 yards per attempt, low. 2 touchdowns, no picks. That's part's obviously good. But like, why are we not talking about Tanner McKee of the Eagles? He was 20 of 25, 252 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. Like, there are guys that played better than him, and it's still Shedeur. And I get it. He is the story, but there's definitely a lot of narrative that is playing into it.
Yeah. And what about the Steelers quarterbacks?
Skylar Thompson. Yeah. Skylar Thompson was 20 of 28, 71% completion percentage, 233 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks.
Yeah. It's just a situation where, you're gonna highlight big business. I get that. That's a marketing decision, but we're pushing a narrative that hasn't necessarily deserved to be pushed yet. The other thing with Shedeur, the area where he does have to improve in, it's like right after the game, he's going up to the Browns beat writer and being like, "You never say anything good about me." That we can't be doing that. That kind of diminishes the impact of the start. Like, you let your do your talking on the field. You just perform great. You don't need to go tell the beat writer that he doesn't say anything nice about you. It's okay. And that's something that Colorado has been doing since Dion got there. That's just how they operate. Like, I'm keeping receipts. Well, like, you prove it on the field, man. And you did that. You don't have to make the viral clip. And the clip did not go as viral as it probably should have because of how he played. But still, not a good look.
And keep in mind, it's not just a preseason game. It's a preseason game against the Panthers. Let's wait for a preseason game against the Ravens, much less a regular season game, much less a playoff game. Like, let's just dial it back. And I believe, don't get me wrong, I fully believe people speak about Shedeur, whether knowingly or unknowingly negatively because they don't like him, or they don't like his dad, or they don't like that he is brash, or that he's confident and he knows his value, he knows his worth. And like, there's been a lot of scouts who have said recently that it's different for them now talking to these young kids, because those guys walk in making 10, 20 times with the salary of what the scouts are making. And they're used to players treating them a certain way, basically begging, like, please draft me. Please, this is my dream. I want to be here. And these kids, they're walking in nowadays, not saying this applies specifically to Shedeur. This is to everyone who's got these NIL deals. They walk in, it's like, hey, this is who I am. And if you don't like it, that's fine. Another team's going to draft me. And I know I'm going to be okay, because I know that I can make money and I can profit off of my talent, my likeness, and all that. So it's definitely a massive adjustment. But like you said, when you go out there and after this whole offseason where there's you're the butt of the jokes because you got legendary in a custom draft room and you fall to the 5th round, and there are the videos of you not getting drafted and all this stuff, and you're 4th on the depth chart. When you go out and you play well, you've done the job. Leave it there. This doesn't do anything in your favor. That guy's not going to go home thinking, wow, you're right, I probably should talk nicer about Shedeur. He's going to be like, no, what an a-hole. Why would he come after me like that? And if you play poorly after your next game, you know that clip is just going to get circulated.
Now, if you're the Eagles and you see the Shedeur narrative, I mean, it depends how much you want to be a little meanie there, but are you heating him up a little bit in the preseason next week? Are you going to throw some different things at him next week a little bit to take him back to earth? I don't know, because, everyone's playing vanilla. No one's doing anything.
Well, the Panthers were blitzing him, I will say. They were getting after him. The Browns line also stunk.
Yeah, they were blitzing 5 though. Nothing was complex. That's the thing too. Preseason's so much different. You're blitzing 5 max. Like that's where we're at. But I'm rooting for Shedeur. People might not believe that, but I'm rooting for Shedeur. I think this just we push a premature narrative. Like when he wins week 1, or whatever week he starts and he wins his first football game and he plays well, like that's more of the time I think to drop the ad. But I get it. Nike has to drop the ad because they hit their social media impressions and engagement goals in one post. So
there's no guarantee he's going to play in the regular season. So this might have been your best opportunity you spent money filming this ad. We got to get it out there at some point.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So more Browns news. Myles Garrett. He likes getting after. He likes going fast and getting after things. Cited for going 100 miles an hour in a 60-mile-per-hour zone on Saturday, 3 years after flipping his Porsche. At least he made it 3 years since the car issue, flipping the Porsche. So at least he made it 3 years. I'll give him a shout out there. But if you're going 100 miles an hour right near your team facility after the preseason game, chances are you've been doing it for the past 3 years and you finally just got caught.
Well, so let me jump in here. Also 2 a.m. Him and Shedeur. I wonder if Shedeur was there, because he was caught for doing 100 as well.
Shedeur goes fast, yeah.
Yeah. So these are speeds that Myles Garrett has been ticketed on since being drafted in Cleveland. And to your point, this is just what he's been ticketed on, not what he's done that they haven't seen. He's done 120 in a 70, 99 in a 70, 91 in a 60, 100 in a 60, 60 in a 45, which was the rollover crash, and then this incident of 100 in a 60.
I don't get it, and I never will get it. Have I gone fast? Have I gone 80, probably 90 miles? Have I touched 90? Yeah, and I'm not a professional athlete, but you would think if you had, and you're in a sports car and you're in a Porsche and you're a professional athlete, if you're in a Porsche, number one, you're looked at differently. Like if you're going fast by a cop, you're going to probably get less leeway there. If you are an NFL athlete or any professional athlete and you make all this money and you know you're going to be in the national news and you're going fast, like you're going to get caught. It's going to become a big story. You have the chance of injuring yourself and you have the chance of injuring other. Like look at Henry Ruggs. Like, I don't know. Henry Ruggs is all you need to show these guys for them to not go fast, and they still go fast. Like this is not just a Myles Garrett thing. This is a consistent thing, whether it's the Georgia Bulldogs, whether it's any other sports league. Guys get tickets for going fast all the time. And it's the dumbest thing ever. Like you're better off locking yourself in a room and going to drug and drink than you are doing this, because you put yourself and everyone else in danger around you.
I'm actually shocked. I just looked up Henry Ruggs. I wanted to see what his sentence was.
He's coming back. He's playing, isn't he, soon?
He said he wants to. He was only sentenced to 3 to 10 years. And he's eligible for parole in 26.
So he's still in?
Yeah, he's still in, but again, eligible for parole in August 2026. So exactly 1 year from now.
It wouldn't surprise me if he gets another chance.
So if he's out next year, it wouldn't surprise. I can almost guarantee he'll get brought in somewhere.
Yeah.
Will he make a roster? That's a very different conversation.
I mean, you root for the guy that turned their life around, but it's like he had the darkest moment to get to where he is now, whether he plays in the NFL or not. So hopefully he makes a positive out of the negative and can go on a speaking tour and try to convince people not to do what he did. But like Myles Garrett, what are you doing, man? You're the best. You're the best defensive end in the NFL. Like you
just signed a $40 million deal.
You're putting yourself at risk. You're putting everyone else, like your career, your ability to make money and then enjoy your money after retirement is at risk, man. What are you doing?
Dude, this Henry Ruggs stuff, I'm sorry, not to go off topic, but for him to get 3 to 10 years he was doing 156 with a blood alcohol limit twice the legal limit, killed a woman, and he gets 3 to 10 years. Is that not crazy?
Where'd he get sentenced at? Or did this take place in Alabama?
Nevada.
Oh, okay. He was in Las Vegas. I don't know. Everyone's different with the rules. That is a little wild. I would think it'd be closer to
life. That's
life.
Yeah.
I mean, at least 20. At least 20 with no parole.
3 to 10 and parole in 2026. He's 25 years old. Like, this hasn't set him back all that much in life. It has, considering what was on the table for him. Like, yeah, from that perspective, but like his life is not over. An incident like that, you would think someone's life would be over.
Yeah, but sometimes you probably want, like, if you're that kind of guy, you might want your life to be over after that. You know, like your whole everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything you do is ended. Now, so he earned $11 million in the NFL. I'm sure a lot of that was. Yeah.
No, how? He never played.
Signing bonus.
He got the signing bonus?
He played a little bit.
No, he didn't. He was a rookie.
When did it happen? How many games?
It happened like shortly after his draft.
He might have had to give the money back then.
Oh, wait. No, I'm totally wrong.
He played.
He did play. I'm totally wrong. I thought this happened before his rookie season.
No, he played, but I just don't know. I don't know how much he had to give. I'm sure he had to give something back for what he did. Says he made $10 million in cash that first year because of the signing bonus. Said he made $11 million.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's still good.
Oh yeah, he's gonna play. I mean, I think he'll get brought in. And you know what? What's he been doing in prison? Working out.
That's what it's one of his. There's one Alabama teammate. I wish I could remember who, but they go to visit him and they said that he's been working out this whole time.
What else do you do? You're an athlete. You're in there. He's probably just working out. So I do think he'll get brought in. I think he'll probably make a team. Now the question is, does a team want to bring him in? You know, that's the tough thing. Like, you look at guys that have done way less that have been blackballed by the NFL. So I just don't know what's going to happen there. But I wonder if do the Raiders own his rights though? Like, that's another thing.
So if he was a first round draft pick, he was a 12th pick in the draft. He played 2 years. And because he's not on the active roster right now, yeah, they're going to have him for 2 years whenever he comes back.
So he's 26 in 6 months. They'd have to cut him. They'd legit have to.
They'd have to cut him if they didn't want him. Yeah.
26, 6 months, 19 days. So when's he going to get out? After the season?
He's eligible for parole in exactly a year.
So that's tough, though. That's like missing basically 2 more seasons.
Yes.
So that's going to be 26, 27, 28. It's going to be tight for him. It's going to be, if he was getting out like in the spring, there's a chance.
So as a second-year player in the NFL, he only played 7 games, but I just did the math. He was on pace for 1,140 yards. He averaged 20 yards per catch. Like, he was on his way to having a productive NFL career.
I think Henry Ruggs is one of the best Alabama, like one of the best guys to come out of that school.
Yeah, he was.
So I guess this turned into a whole drinking and driving. Not even drinking and driving. Myles Garrett just goes fast. At least not drinking, but still, dumb decisions behind the wheel is like it's probably the worst thing you can do. I mean, I would put it up. It's higher. I think it's the worst thing. Domestic abuse not good, but like the things that we see with the NFL guys, like you have the chance to do the most damage by doing this.
The timing of this was so funny because I'm in a GM with a Steelers fan and a Browns fan. And the Browns fan thinks that TJ Watt is a dirty player. And the Steelers fan thinks that Myles Garrett's a dirty player. And they always go back and forth on it. And they were talking about one of them, the Browns fan sent a clip of TJ Watt getting a sack. And he was just like totally unblocked. And the Browns fan was like fake stats, like he's stat pad or whatever. And the Steelers fan said elite quickness. And like 1 minute later, this story broke. And I just texted it to them. And I said, speaking of elite quickness, and there was Myles Garrett doing 160.
I mean, Grant, you're a Georgia Bulldog fan. You got no room to speak about guys.
I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan by association. Yes. My girlfriend is a Georgia alum.
Do they like root for the boys to drive fast down there on the streets? Like
so,
how does that work? They like racing down there or what?
Yeah, they're racing. So my understanding, again, I've never been to any races or anything like that. My understanding is, first of all, there's just not a lot to do in the town. Like it's a small college town, not small, but you know what I mean? Like once you leave the college town, there's not things to do right on the surrounding areas. There's very straight roads that no one goes on. And it's just like, it's part of the culture down there. So the races definitely happen. Police also, I guess, I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is a local legend, but allegedly the police down there get not awards, but like they get what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't know. It's in their best interest if they can get a football player on a ticket, basically. So like if a football player is doing 30 and a 25, they could get pulled over. There's one particular road that is a one-way, but I guess nobody knows it. It's not marked well. So people drive down it the wrong way all the time and they'll get football players there. So I think it's kind of it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like because they do that, the police are also on the lookout for them and the situation just gets worse and worse.
They were going fast before the NIL days too, right? Before they even had the night. I mean,
it's part of the culture down there. Like that's what they say.
They went from like Toyota Corollas to Porsches going fast. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Hellcats.
Yeah. So anyways, Carson Beck too, by the way, speaking of Georgia Bulldogs, Carson Beck is going to lead the Miami Hurricanes to the playoffs this year.
Ted, I'm not going to lie. Your guys, like the college quarterbacks you consider your guys, are not great players. So
Quinn was good. Quinn was good in college, and he had a rough preseason start, but Quinn's good.
You went 5 of 18 with a fumble, and
you know what though? If you don't agree with me on Carson Beck, that's dumb because Carson Beck literally played in like the pressure cooker of college football. Like if you take the top 5 schools with the most pressure on you, he was at one of those schools. Now he's going to Miami where they barely even care about football at this point. Maybe they will. They could bring the program back. But Miami is not Georgia. He's going to be playing against teams with 3-star recruits basically now because all the good ones are in the SEC and he's just going to light it up. Because like you said, you know, Miami lost in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. He's played for national titles. Like that's the difference.
So Miami next year on the schedule, they got Notre Dame week 1, which is a massive game for both teams.
Yeah.
They got Florida after about a month. They got SMU towards the end of the season, and that's really it.
If you beat but the good thing about that is Notre Dame's not a conference game. Florida's not a conference game. So you still set yourself up to go to the ACC championship game.
Yeah, even if Clemson, your toughest ACC game.
They have no Clemson?
No Clemson.
Cool. Yeah. So
no Georgia Tech either. Georgia Tech's probably 3rd. No Georgia Tech.
Clemson, Miami for the ACC championship, most likely.
I think that is what the betting odds will say that, and I think that's also what most people will tell you.
Is Clemson and Georgia Tech play each other too? They must.
I don't remember.
They do play each other. So that's a game that somebody's going to get a loss in, and yeah.
And Clemson also has SMU. I think they'll beat SMU, but that would be I think that'll be 2 losses. I think SMU will lose to Clemson and Miami, and they'll be out of it.
Yeah, definitely. And the good thing for Miami, they can lose to SMU and still get in, I imagine, because Clemson Depends. I don't know how it all works there. But
Clemson's schedule is the same as Miami. Their two toughest games are out of conference. Week 1 against LSU, and then the last week of the season at South Carolina.
so yeah, it'd be interesting. But Carson Beck, I mean, this is a guy who's just the ACC is going to be nothing for him. Okay, so John Mateer, Grant, we got a gambling scandal cooking up in college football. If he doesn't play for Oklahoma this year, and now this has not hit the mainstream media yet. It probably will hit the mainstream media today. The Hindu Times is on Twitter as well. This will be on ESPN today, most likely, if they can prove anything. Grant, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, so this started going viral last night. And again, this is all, we're going to say alleged at the moment. But apparently John Mateer, who is a transfer quarterback, this is going to be his first year at Oklahoma, coming over from Washington State. There are a lot of people, sort of the hipsters of the college football world, are like, this is the Heisman favorite. This is the potential first pick in the draft. Like, this is the guy to pay attention to. I think he's going to be really good. If you think Oklahoma is going to be good, it's going to be because of John Mateer. But last night, there are screenshots that circulated of supposedly his Venmo account, where on November 20th, 2022, he had 2 separate transactions, one for sports gambling and the other one sports gambling, parentheses, UCLA versus USC. Look, first and foremost, I love, this guy's got to be an accounting major, because for him to put in the brackets UCLA versus USC and be that specific about what it is, that's just awesome. Now, Tanner, I think what we should do is we should check UCLA and USC's football schedule and see, did they play on or around November 20th, 2022?
UCLA?
Well, I'm looking. I got it right now. Let's see.
They definitely did, because that's the last game. That's
November. So on November 19th, they played, and this Venmo transaction is from November 20th.
Yeah, so he lost, and he had to send his money to his bookie.
Yeah, but the day after. So again, this is unconfirmed, just Twitter screenshots. We don't know, but that's what's being alleged. It's also being alleged that he scrubbed his Venmo history. Again, no idea if that is true or not.
All right. Number one, these kids are all dumb. This is why there needs to be like a salary cap for what these kids can make. Because if you are a college football quarterback in the SEC, and I know he's coming from a conference that's non-existent now, but if you are a quarterback in the SEC at Oklahoma and you have anything like this on public, you should not have a public Venmo. You should not. Your only public account should be your Instagram and your Twitter, and that should be run by somebody. There's no reason for any of this to go on. And I'm surprised with the schools too. In the end of the day, I'm surprised that they don't tell the kids, turn your Venmo off. Don't send the DMs, guys. Like, find other ways to reach out to people, because it's going to get scrubbed and it's going to go online.
So according to the NCAA's official website, they've updated their rules. I believe it was last year, might have been at the start of this year. They updated their standards for punishment related to sports betting violations. It used to just be like, you do it one time and you've lost your eligibility. It's different now. So if you're found guilty of wagering $200 or less, you just need to take an education course, essentially. $201 to $500, loss of 10% of a season's eligibility plus the education. $501 to $800, loss of 20% of a season plus the education. More than $800, minimum loss of 30% of a season of eligibility plus rules and education. If the number exceeds 800, then NCAA reinstatement staff are directed to consider whether additional loss of eligibility, including permanent ineligibility, are appropriate. So
is that for just betting on college football, though, or is that for betting on everything?
That's everything. There's also a new proposal going around. The NCAA is essentially considering allowing student athletes to bet on professional leagues, but that has not been in effect. And even if it was in effect, it wouldn't matter in this situation, because it seems like he bet on a college football game.
I think you should let college athletes bet on anything but the NFL and the CFL. Like, they shouldn't be able to bet on professional football, but I think they should be able to bet on the NBA. I don't think that matters. Now, this is going to be really hard to prove. Number one being 2022. So we're at a different time. It's a Venmo transaction. It was obviously a bookie if it happened, if it is real. it could have been more than 200. I don't know. And they can obviously check that. But, if you don't have like the legals, having a FanDuel, having a DraftKings, we can see what he bet. We can see who it was to. We can see all that. Like he could make the case. Yeah. Like me and my buddies were just doing a little pool for sports gambling. Like I told my buddy that, hey, you take UCLA, I'll take USC. Like, I don't know if they can patrol that kind of stuff. It's just a friendly wager.
So sports betting. So this was in 2022. I would assume he was at, let me just make sure I know he started at Washington State, but let me just make sure he was there in 20.
He threw 2 passes that season.
Okay, cool. So he was in Washington. Sports betting was legalized in Washington on March 25th, 2021. Online sports betting is only permissible while physically present at a tribal casino. They're not going to let him in a tribal casino. I don't even know if he was 21 at this point. So even though he was in a legal state technically, if he's going to, we're not advocating for illegal sports betting, but if he were to do it, just logistically, it would probably be through a bookie.
Yeah. And I don't know how you patrol that. Like, it's not through FanDuel. It's not through DraftKings. They can make up a story. You can get a lawyer here to make up a case saying they were betting with their buddy, and if it's a friendly wager, if you were me like, hey, you take UCLA, I'll take USC, a winner gets $20. Like, what are they going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, even if the Venmo history is $1,000 and it says sports gambling for this reason, I'm sure they could make up a story to get around it. At that point, like you said, it's not like it's through a legal sportsbook. You have no record of what actually happened. So how do you punish him?
Unless the kid could be smart too in this regard. He Venmoed his buddy to place a bet on DraftKings or FanDuel because he can't do it. That's another thing that they could track. They could look at who he sent it to, who gets the money, does it have it? Yeah, Richard. They could look at Richard Roten and see his FanDuel and DraftKings account. And if the money matching that goes into a ticket through FanDuel or DraftKings, he's probably done.
Well, okay. So what if you owe me $500? I want to bet on the UCLA USC game, and I say you can pay off your debt to me by sending me the $500 you owed me. Like, I painted your apartment, and you're going to pay me that, and I'm going to take this $500 and I'm going to bet it on this game. Like that's a story where John Mateer is not gambling on the game, but explains why the Venmo transaction would say sports gambling.
It could, yeah. Again, it's going to be too hard to prove, I think, in this case. I think he's going to be fine, especially the fact that it was 3 years ago. So like that's very helpful as long as his Venmo history is, he scrubbed his Venmo, but if there's more stuff, like this that happened last season, yeah, he's probably in trouble a little bit. And you know what? I'm sure they're going to check his FanDuel and his DraftKings account if he has one. They're going to, the NCAA is going to look into it. I mean, they got people just doing this.
What is I wonder what the statute of limitations is as well, because these punishment standards have changed. But at the time in 2022, if he bet $1 on a game, he'd lose his eligibility. So what's the rules? What's the ruling there? Like, let's say he is guilty. He did do this. Which do you go by, your standards today or the standards at the time that it happened?
Yeah, I mean, you probably go by today's standards, I think. I mean, we're in a world where I don't think you should lose your eligibility for making one mistake with sports betting because it's so pressing, and the schools are profiting off. That's not directly, but you're going to see a DraftKings and a FanDuel ad on a ESPN SEC college football commercial. It's just going to happen. So I don't think we can necessarily punish the kids too harsh. And I do like how they do it. And they're pretty liberal with their policy now. Like, you got to bet a nice chunk of money to miss a significant portion of your season.
Yeah, more than $800. $800 to a college student, and I get they have NIL now, but maybe there are a lot of players who are on teams that are not making a lot of NIL money. Like, you got to be a star to be getting good money, and $800 to a college kid is a lot.
Yeah, well, what they get for college football 2026? 1,200 every one of them.
I think something like that. Yeah,
probably for a lot of those kids, that's probably the only NIL deal they got. So
yeah. And that was on the back of Arch Manning and Jeremiah Smith and, et cetera.
I wonder what Arch, they didn't get extra. Well, they probably did for being the cover athletes, I imagine. But I think
they didn't get extra for just being in the game.
Yeah, they got the extra for being the cover athlete.
So John Mateer, let's get these. Give me a sports book, Tanner.
FanDuel.
So FanDuel, John Mateer is plus 2,500 to win the Heisman at FanDuel. That is behind Arch Manning, Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik, Jeremiah Smith, Ty Simpson, Drew Aller, Carson Beck, Lenore Sellers, Sam Levitt, DJ Lagway, and Julian Sayin. So that makes him 12th in Heisman odds. He is tied with Dante Moore, Gunnar Stockton, and Jackson Arnold.
Interesting. I personally think that John Mateer and the Oklahoma Sooners aren't going to do a whole lot in the SEC this year. The SEC is going to come down to Georgia, Alabama, Texas, LSU. Those are the 4 contenders in the SEC. And I'll tell you this right now. If Alabama does not make the college football playoff, Coach DeBoer better pack up those bags and start looking to head back to the West Coast, because the Southeast ain't for Coach DeBoer if you don't make the playoffs this season.
Oklahoma, this is how they finished their season. So it's fairly easy. I mean, they do have Michigan early on. They do have Auburn. But this is how they finished their season. Home for Texas, at South Carolina, home for Ole Miss, at Tennessee, at Alabama, home for Mizzou, home for LSU. That's brutal.
That's a brutal. But you know what? Like, I was listening to what's our guy on the YouTube, Grant? What's our guy? Our college football guy, Josh Pate.
Oh, Pate.
I was listening to Pate, and he's going through, he's doing his team previews, and he's going through all the team. Like, every SEC team has a top 10 schedule, top 10 hardest schedule. Like, it's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like, that's what it is. The SEC is still king. Everyone plays a tough schedule. It's just how you order them. Like, Alabama doesn't have back-to-back away games. I don't think Georgia has back-to-back away games. I don't know if LSU does. Like, there's some teams who have more favorable schedules, how you lay it out, but everybody plays hard teams week after week.
Georgia only has, I didn't know that. Georgia only has 3 road games all year, which is kind of,
that's it.
Yeah, 9 of your 12 games. Their schedule's tough. Don't get me wrong. They have Tennessee, Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss, Florida, Texas, and Georgia Tech because of the rivalry. That's always tough. But how are 9 of your 12 games at home?
I mean, they're going to shit on Tennessee on the road. Like, Tennessee is not going to be ready.
No, Tennessee will be bad. Tennessee does not deserve to be ranked.
No. I mean, until we see what they are, they don't deserve to be ranked. Then you're going to beat Auburn on the road. Auburn's going to be better. Mississippi State is like the armpit of the SEC, so they're going to win that game too. Yep. Texas at home, end of the season, potentially it's going to be a big game. Alabama at home, that's a game that a little revenge factor. See, like, that's the thing about the SEC. You got 2 losses. 10-2 gets you in as a high caliber SEC team. So you can lose twice. You can't. It's hard to lose 3 times. 2 times, there's no debate, though.
Yeah. I mean, Georgia, like this, again, the schedule is tough. The SEC's got the toughest schedules, no doubt about it. But if you were to pick right now, you going Texas and Georgia in the SEC championship?
I don't know. Like, what is Texas? Everyone's high on Texas, and like,
what is Ty Simpson? That's a big question.
Yeah, but like, you don't have to be a good quarterback at Alabama. Alabama has white quarterbacks that hand the ball off, run really good play action. Like, you don't need to be this like. Look at Jalen Milroe. Look at Jalen Milroe.
He's a white quarterback.
No, he didn't win a national title. He didn't win. He was this like athletic freak of nature. He didn't win a national title. You know who did win a national title? Mac Jones.
Well. Kalen DeBoer is more of like your traditional pocket passer. Like, that's why he was awesome with Penix.
Yeah, and Jalen Milroe, like, it just the year 2 of Jalen Milroe, or the year 1 of Jalen Milroe under Kalen DeBoer just did not work out. Alabama has won national championships. Who were the quarterbacks for those national titles? Let's see here. 2020 was what?
Tua.
Okay, pocket passer. Samoan. 2017 was Mac. No.
Mac did Mac win?
Mac won a national title. Mac Jones definitely won a national title.
When was he there? I thought Mac was more recent than 2017.
I thought he was too.
Yeah, Mac was there from 2020. What?
Mac was 2020.
Oh, so they're giving
Tua 20. Tua didn't. Tua.
Oh, you know what it was? Jalen Hurts was the starting quarterback in 2017, but Tua won them the game.
Yeah, okay.
Mac was 19 and 20. That was his.
Tua never went on to win a national title then as the starting quarterback for a full season.
Right.
All right. Let's see. Alabama quarterback 2015.
That was
Jake Coker.
Jake Coker. Yep.
Late play action handoff guy. All right. 2012. 2012 Alabama QB. AJ McCarron. White handoff play action guy.
What's the point you're trying to make here?
I'm saying, Ty, you're making fun of Ty Simpson. I know what I'm getting out of him.
No, I'm not making fun of him. I'm genuinely asking the question, what is he? Because I have no idea. We haven't seen him play a game.
He's what Alabama is and what they've always have been. And that's white handoff play action quarterbacks that win national titles. So I'm not worried about Ty Simpson.
I mean, Kalen DeBoer is different from Nick Saban. Like, let's admit that a little bit.
History repeats. Nick Saban still got an office.
He does still have an office, which is pretty cool. Like,
I'm not worried about Ty Simpson. I mean, I think Alabama has to make the college football. Like, if Alabama doesn't make the college football playoff, you should just fire Kalen DeBoer. Like, don't even keep him around. In 2 years is too many. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I love Kalen DeBoer, but I agree with you. I don't see how they keep him.
There's no reason, because what you did last year was inexcusable. You go to Oklahoma and you get your ass whooped like that in a game where if you win, you're in the playoffs. Like, what are you doing? And you're going to the SEC championship game. If they win that Oklahoma game, they're in the SEC championship.
Yeah. Sorry. I thought you meant this year. No, you're right.
No, yeah. So, yeah.
Well, another episode of Ride the Line, Tanner.
I do want to bring up David Reese real quick.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
The 8th year. This is crazy too. Speaking of wild things in college football, David Reese is an 8th year football player. And he was at Florida. He started at Florida. He was at Cal. He had an Achilles injury. He tore his Achilles. He had a patellar tendon injury. He had COVID. He had the red shirt. So he's going to his 8th season. He's playing at Syracuse. 8 seasons of college football is crazy. That should never be allowed. That is a man versus a child. I'm a 17, 18-year-old kid coming to college playing against a man with biceps the size of I don't even know, but big ass biceps. That should not be the case.
It should be a health and safety issue. Like, it's a contact sport. I get it, but it's not fair. If he's 18 and how old is this guy? 26?
Well, he's in his 8th year, so he's got to be 25, 26.
Yeah, so you've got an 18-year-old against a 26-year-old. I know that they're both technically adults, but that's such different stages of physical development. That's like putting a 12-year-old against an 18-year-old.
He's a linebacker, too. Like, there's going to be an offensive lineman that's like 18 years old he's going against this year, and he's probably just going to body. And it's the same thing with quarterbacks, too. Like, a quarterback shouldn't get that much time either because mentally they're so much further ahead. Like, it's
100%.
It's unfair. That was what I wanted to end with. But other than that, we're good.
I mean, it's like Cam McCormick at Miami last year. He started his college career. His first year was in 2017 at Oregon, and he was playing at Miami last year. How is that fair?
Not fair. Not fair. Not fair at all. It's ridiculous. UConn's got to play Syracuse this year, week 2, so I'm not happy about that.
This guy, Cam McCormick and I, we started college in the same year. No, he started 1 year after me because I graduated 2016, but I was still in college in 2016. So he started college 1 year after me, assuming he didn't redshirt. It's possible he was there in 2016 and just didn't play. I've graduated 4 years ago, and he was still playing last year.
Crazy.
And I graduated a year later than I should have.
He's playing this year. What do you even study at this point? Do you even go? What do you take?
It's a good question. Are you just rolling over different degrees? Like, does he just have 10 different majors?
You've had time for a bachelor's degree and 2 master's degrees at this point.
Oh, easily. You can do that in 5 years.
Yeah. So you've had time. So he could get a bachelor's, an MBA, another master's degree, and now what's he taking? Like just art classes? It's crazy.
He better be getting 3 doctorates to be there for 8 years.
Yeah. Anyways, Grant, that was Ride the Line, Grace podcast in sports betting entertainment. Why don't you take us out of here?
That is going to do it for this episode of Ride the Line. Tanner and I appreciate you all being here. Make sure you jump in the comment section, give us your thoughts on the show, call us dumb, call us geniuses, whatever. We don't care, but we do appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss out. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. And as always, we will catch you all in the next episode of Ride the Line.